Lesson 3, Tivoli Storage Manager Database Recovery. To restore your database, you must have a database backup, either the last full plus last incremental or snapshot, and your volume history file. Your volume history file contains the information on what volumes are used for what backups. It's also helpful to have your device configuration file. This is all of your device classes, your recovery log, your archive log, and your dsmserv.opt file. Now, if you use Disaster Recovery Manager, all these files are also backed up for you. If not, consider running a script that will back them up to a file like a .out file that you can then store elsewhere. If you don't have a database, you can't recover your data. You can restore your database to either its most current state or to a point in time. To restore to the most current state, you're going to use the dsmserv restoredb command. You'll be issuing this command from your server directory at your operating system prompt or command line. If you do not have all of your recovery log volumes, you would need to first format your database before issuing the restoredb. Remember, if you're needing to restore your database, your server will be offline. This is why you preface the command with dsmserv. That lets your operating system know this is a TSM command. Now, if you're going to do a point-in-time recovery, you're going to need your database backups, either a full plus last incremental or a snapshot, your volume history file, device configuration file, and your recovery log. You're going to need the recovery log in this case to make sure you have a consistent state. Okay, we've mentioned the volume history file, device configuration files. Schedule their backups. If you're not using DRM to do this automatically, write a script, schedule your backups of your volume history and device configuration. Write them to an output file. Then store that file off the TSM server. So we're going to restore a server. You're going to need your database backup, your storage pools, your volume history, server options file, and device configuration. So this is more than just restoring the database. You're going to use the database backup to restore your database. You're going to use your copy pools to restore your primary storage pools. To restore your database to the most current state, again, dsmserv restoredb. This is to the most current state. If you're going to go to a point in time, you need to roll back 2 days, for example. There's been some file corruptions. You need to restore back to a good backup. You would then do your dsmserv restoredb and provide a to date and to time. You'll list the type of backup, a DB backup or a DB snapshot. This slide gives you some basic tasks for backing up your database, things you might want to consider using. Schedule your database backups and send a copy off-site. Use recovery log mirroring. This is your active log mirror. Store copies of deviceconfig.out, volumehistory.out, and dsmserv.opt off-site. Define volume history and device class backup files. So this is where you're going to store these files. Remember, they're going to change every day. Every time you do a database backup, you're going to get a new volume history file, for example. The best way to do this is to use the server maintenance script. You can use the administration center to set up automatic scheduling to back up your database. You're going to want to back up your database right after you've backed up your storage pools. This way, the database has the latest information, where all the volumes are, where all the data is on all the volumes. You're going to need to store your backup volumes off-site. Have a copy on-site, but also have a copy off-site. Set reuse delay to 7. This is 1 week. Remember, this is when your data has expired and you're running reclamation. The empty tape that comes back to get checked into the tape pool, the scratch pool. Use a reuse delay of 7. That gives you 7 days before you overwrite the information on the tape. If you have the extended edition of TSM, use Disaster Recovery Manager.